LabTest is an accredited testing lab, certification body and inspection body, certifying, testing and certifying all sorts of products, testing for North America and on a global scale. LabTest has several locations, head office being in Delta, BC, another location in Burlington, Ontario, Canada, and one more in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then we also have satellite locations and representatives and inspectors all over the world. LabTest's main concern and focus is product and public safety, and we try to offer our contribution by testing and certifying products and make sure that they meet the minimum requirements of the national and international safety standards. HAZLOC stands for Hazardous Locations, and it also goes by other names such as EX areas or explosive atmospheres. HAZLOC equipment is any electrical product entering hazardous locations and any electrical product that can create a spark or that has enough energy to ignite a flammable gas or dust. Any manufacturer or importer and exporters of products, electrical products, that would go into hazardous locations, they would need HAZLOC approvals. Some examples of products that might need HAZLOC certifications are products going into the oil and gas industry, mining, products like from control panels to lighting, pumps, valves, grain elevators, so any products that will be, again, around explosive atmospheres. LabTest is able to provide HAZLOC certification for North America, so Canada and US, as well as Europe or on a global scale. Regulatory systems in North America are somewhat different from the ones in Europe, and the main difference is that products meant for hazardous locations in North America need to bear certification mark from an accredited and approved certification body. And in Europe, that certification will need to be issued by a notified body. They're basically the same thing, but the names are different. ICEX is the International Electrotechnical Commission system that relates to standards that are applied to product going into hazardous locations. ATEX is one of the European directives that describes what equipment can go into hazardous locations, and the word ATEX comes from two separate French words, one being atmospheres and the other one being explosive. In North America, there are 4 main components needed in order to obtain HAZLOC certification. The first one is a test report, then a factory assessment, a certificate of conformity, and an authorization to mark. For ICEX, there are only 3 needed, and the first one being an EX test report, a quality assessment report, or also known as a QAR, and a certificate of conformity. And for the ATEX certification, there are also 3 main components needed. One being a technical dossier, a second one being a quality assessment notification, or also known as QAN, and the third one being an EU type exam certificate. The process is quite simple and quick. All we need is some basic product information, and which can be gathered through filling out one of our RFQ forms. Once we have the information, typically within 2 business days, we will be able to provide a quotation which will highlight the cost, the standards that will apply to that particular product, and then the turnaround times. Every HAZLOC project is different, but typically an average turnaround time would be between 8 to 10 weeks, depending on the product and the product application. very difficult to come up with a dollar amount over the phone. It doesn't take long for us to come up with a very accurate or the most accurate estimate we can. We will need, again, the product information. Once we know which standards will apply and therefore how many tests and what type of tests are needed, then we will know how much time will need to be involved in the project. The two main reasons for choosing LabTest are exceptional customer service and fast turnaround times. One of our biggest challenges has always been the branding. We obviously haven't been around for 100 years, but people are getting more and more familiar with our certification mark. Being somewhat smaller has actually turned out to be an advantage for us, and that is because we have been able to keep the high level of customer service. Give us a call, we're always here. Or you can also, of course, check our website and send us a request through the website. The last thing I'd like to say is don't be intimidated by HAZLOC approvals and certification. It's not as complicated as it sounds. It's not super simple, but all you really need is someone to guide you through the whole process and break it down for you. And we here at LabTest are happy to do that for you.